Hi there, this is Luise Heinzel. Nice to see you here today. Welcome to my very first video of 2025. I'd like to kick off the new year with all of you by taking you on a little tour through my craft room and also the rest of my apartment. Many of you followed my move from Austria back to Germany along with the renovation work and also my construction site journal. Perhaps you remember this medium-sized catastrophe? So now it's finally time to show you what so many of you have been asking for, and that's the finished state of everything. But I have to admit, as any junk journaler knows, an apartment, especially a craft room, is probably never truly finished. So let's call it the current stage of everything, okay? Most room tours, at least the room tours I know from, for example, YouTube or so, probably start in front of a door that gets opened to reveal the space inside. My problem is my apartment doesn't have any doors except this one right here. So today we are starting our tour here in the toilet room. Yes, you've heard right. I am in my toilet room here. This is the tiniest room of the whole apartment and the only room which has a door. So I thought I need to start here because you've got to stick to some YouTube traditions, right? So from here, I'll give you an overview over my entire apartment and of course a look into my craft room. So that's going to happen in this video today. And in the upcoming videos, I will dive deeper into the details of my craft room. But I thought I want to start with a tour through my apartment, not only because so many of you have asked for it, but also because I think there are some things you might be interested in for your own room decorations, wall decorations, and so on. And some people have asked, how does a junk journaler decorate an apartment? So let's dive into the apartment, let's look into my craft room, and let's talk about some things you might want to have in your own apartment as well. Here in my toilet room, I have the starting point of a mushroom collection. As you can see, I have 3 of them here and also a little one here. The other ones you've just seen are bought, but this one here I made by myself from some clay. And I'm planning to add some more mushrooms here. I have already some plants here, so these are fake, not real plants, but I thought this is a nice arrangement for adding more mushrooms. I also have this little gnome here. I got this in a Happy Mail, and he is watching over me while I'm here in this room doing what you do in a toilet room. And while preparing this video, I just found something out which I find really, really funny with the English language. So you know that English is not my mother tongue, and I just wanted to say this room is like my mushroom room. And then I realized that in the word mushroom, there is already the word room. So I thought, why don't I make a sign for this room which says mush room? And then I thought, well, what does the word mush mean in English? And I just learned what mush means. So do you think it's a great idea to make a sign for my door for this room which says mushroom? Or shall I perhaps better write mushroom room? I find that so funny. Yeah, well, then I have also some pieces, art pieces here. This is something I made in a collaboration with Marlies from Marley Design. And here's a lot of space on this wall, so I have planned to hang some more things here like pictures or perhaps more of my creative projects or so. In here I also have a little memory from my caravan. Perhaps you know, when I lived in Austria, I lived in a caravan, and this thing here is from there. So I thought that fits really nicely in here. I also have a little picture from the past here. So this is me on this picture with someone from a band I really liked in the past, or I still like the band, but he's not part of the band anymore. And this is toilet related as well, from a little joke conversation we had. He has written "Viel Spaß beim Kacken." That means have fun, yeah, well, while doing what you do here. Do you know what I mean? So I thought that fits really well in here. And why am I showing you this room and also other corners of my apartment? Because I thought perhaps it's an idea for you as well. If you have, I don't want to say problems, but let's call it special situations in your apartments, like for example special walls. As you can imagine, this was not here. I made this to this wall, or brought this to this wall. I will quickly go out here so that you can have a wider angle of what I want to show you, so that you can see the whole wall. And then I will try to explain what this is and why I turned this, I would say, into a piece of art. I think this is art. You can see it like you want it, or you can, you can decide if it's art or if it's just a solution for a problem on the wall. Let me try if, when I turn on the light, it's perhaps a little bit better to see. So the problem here was, in the whole apartment, the whole electricity had to be renewed. That means here in this room, and also in the rest of the apartment, there was wallpaper on all of the walls. So what you can see here is just some wallpaper, and you can see here the wall is different. And that's because when they made the electricity here, over the light switch, is that the word? There was a slot in the wall, so that went from this thing up here and then over here, so that there was also the possibility to get the electricity to the lamp here. And that means there was the problem that we have removed the wallpaper from this part of the wall, but that was still there. And then I thought, okay, I have no time, I have no nerves, I was really in time trouble to get everything in this apartment done. So I thought, why don't I try to find a creative solution for this problem? And this word creative solution, that became somehow a running gag during this whole renovation process, because when we made something and we found a problem, something like this, we always said, okay, what is the fact? We don't have time. What do we have to do? We do have to find a creative solution. So what I have done here is, the filler for the wall was put on here to fill this slot. I will try to zoom out a little bit. Please don't be scared, so that you can see more of the wall. So here was the slot, and when they filled it, they of course used this filler material, and then this was flat, and they put it over here, like, really randomly. And then I had a really weird thing between the flat wall and this textured wall from the wallpaper. So I thought I'd take some texture paste. This is just some grit paste glow. The glow effect of the grit paste is totally unimportant, but I have used the grit paste glow because I had the jar, it was open, and I wanted to use it up. And to get the shape of this, I just followed the shape of the filler. So this line is basically where this flat material meets the wallpaper, so that I could get this, like bridge between the flat and the rough surface here. And this shall remind a little bit to waves on a beach. First, I thought, oh wait, I wanted to tell you why this is gold and this turquoise. So the gold is just some gilding wax. I've put that over here with my finger and then blended that with a blending brush. And this turquoise here, that's also a little bit of gray, that is some distress crayon in different colors, so that I could get a smooth bridge here between the colors. First, I thought, since this shall be like an abstract beach, that I want to put some shells here as well, but I'm not so sure if I want to do that or if I want to think about something else a little bit outside the box and perhaps put some mushroom hangers here, you know, some mushroom rooms which come out of the wall where you can hang something, but I'm not totally sure how or when or you know, if I want to do that. So that is this room, and this is, like basically the one door I have. I mean, I have to admit, when I turn around, of course, my main entrance door is here as well. But for this little joke for the video, I decided to take my toilet room, or shall I now say mushroom door? I don't know, because, you know, here, when I open this, I come outside into the, you know, how is this called? You know, where the stairs are. And I didn't want to talk so loud here because obviously here are other people in the house as well. And I didn't want to disturb them with making my video. So here we are, how is this called? Is it hallway in English? I think with this video I can also check how much my English has improved over the years. I'm really hoping that I can talk about the things here with my limited vocabulary, because, you know, I realize that when I speak English, then obviously I often talk about, you know, junk journal related things, and sometimes I have problems with those normal words which you need for describing an apartment, but I will try my best to do this. This here now looks a little bigger than it originally is because of my zoom of the camera. So I will, you know, put it to the normal level again so that you can see what I approximately see with my eyes, and, you know, then you can get a better feeling for the size of this whole thing. Perhaps we can move to the bathroom next, because here I also have something where I thought that could be interesting for you if you have some problems on your wall. Here, to be honest, this is really, really embarrassing for me. I think it's the most embarrassing thing I have ever published on my YouTube channel, but I thought, when I show you my apartment and when I show you, for example, here my bathroom and my shower and everything is, you know, like really private, when I show you this, it's like you are here with me, isn't it? So I thought I can tell you about this accident here as well, even if it's so extremely embarrassing. What happened here? You can see this wall here. And this thing makes my water for the shower hot. And as you can see, there's a cable, and I thought the cable goes into the wall like that there in the corner. So I have taken one of these little checking machines which you can put to the wall, and when there's a cable or metal or something else, then it makes a noise so that you know that that is there behind. I wanted to hang a little cupboard here, like a little, no, that's not the word, like a little shelf, so that I needed some holes in this wall. And then I have taken this machine to check if there is anything like electricity behind. This machine has said there is nothing. I have taken my big drill, made a hole into the wall, and what happened? This thing suddenly was broken because I have drilled through the cable of this thing, because the cable is not going into the wall like that, like there, but it comes out here and it goes along here and here, and here was my hole, and then the cable was destroyed. The problem was that I, when that happened, already had painted the walls. And I have mixed this color from 2 colors I had left over, and I didn't have any more of this paint in that color. So that means when they made the hole, when they closed the hole with some filler, so what you can see here, this little planet is basically the reparation, no. So the fixed wall, yeah? So what you can see there is the filler they used to close the hole where I had this accident. But the problem was that I didn't have this paint anymore in the color. I couldn't paint this, so I thought, okay, one alternative would have been to take another color and, yeah, paint the whole wall or the whole bathroom again. And as you can see, I have the color everywhere, even there on the ceiling. And I didn't want to do that. And to be honest, I didn't want to spend the money for new paint because I just had painted that. So I thought, what could be a creative solution? And then I decided to make myself this little prince here with the rose. And then turn this accident there into a planet where he can stand on. So I have painted the filler there. The color was originally a little bit like, you know, light gray, approximately like here. I painted everything with white acrylic paint first, and then I went over that with some gray acrylic paint, let that dry. Then I have made myself a little stencil just from some cardboard, and I have taken a circle punch, punched in there with, you know, different sizes. Then I have taken some grit paste opaque by Ranger and Tim Holtz. And by the way, the grit paste glow I've just talked about in the other room is also, you know, the one by Ranger and Tim Holtz. And here's a lot of that stuff in this apartment, but this is really cool. I mean, look, that it doesn't come off. It's really, really cool that this texture paste works on walls as well. This was a test. I was not completely sure if it can hold on here, but yeah, to be honest, why shouldn't it hold? I mean, yeah, but you can never be really sure when you do something for the first time. So I'm really happy that this worked and that I now have this little planet with the prince here and that he can be there, and yeah, that I don't have to worry about this accident anymore. And I don't see it as an accident anymore. You know, when the prince was not there, I always looked at this circle and thought, oh my goodness, I had an accident, and it was like really terrible. Yeah, so then you might think, what the heck is this? Little hotspot, or what shall that be? Why are here some jackets in the bathroom? That is a really easy answer. I mean, normally you would think that you have this, what is the word for this thing where you hang your clothes, like, you know, jackets which you wear outside. I don't have the word at the moment, I'm sorry. But normally you would expect that somewhere here, won't you? So that you say, okay, when I come in here, I take my jacket off and then I can hang it there. But here we made some changes to the original condition of this whole thing. I will zoom out again a little bit better, so that you can see that better. So now you can see it in a wider angle. Perhaps you can see this triangle here. And here, originally, there was a little room for example, your garbage bags and things like vacuum cleaner and so on. Just a little room for storing those things that you normally don't want to show, which are not so decorative. But perhaps you remember those little video snippets I have shown you while I made my construction site journal. I have shown you this whole area there, how it looked. And perhaps you can remember that this wall was really massive because, of course, when the wall was here, it was closed. And then this room was really small. And also somehow pretty, it was like pressing to your body, you know, when you went through here. Of course, that's only an emotion. It's not real physical pressing, but it was really like narrow in here. So we decided to remove this wall, and with that, this little room there. And that's the reason why I can't put my jackets and shoes and so on in here, because here's just no space. So I thought, why do I worry about that? I can just take some of these things here They are just glued with some really strong glue to the tiles here. And so I have my jackets here, and also something like, you know, what I need in the bathroom, like this thing, what you put on your body after the shower, you know what I mean. And yeah, then the rest is obviously a pretty normal bathroom. But, you know, there are often questions, yeah, you know, because of those questions, I want to show you something, and I want to, yeah, I don't want to say warn you, but some of you have asked about this accident in my shower. I have told you about this accident, which you can't see here anymore, in some of my videos, because I had there some sticker paper which was reacting really crazily, and then I found out some really cool things with the sticker paper for my craft projects. But everything started here, and I got so many messages that you want to see how my shower turned out now and what the problem was. You have been interested in that, so I want to show you this, and at the same time, with that, I want to answer those questions, but at the same time, I want to say, if you see this and you think, okay, she said she bought that on Amazon, these tiles here are tiles which you can stick to the wall, which are not real tiles. I will quickly turn around and show you that here on the other wall, because there I can come a little closer to the wall, because, you know, here's this thing, and I can't go into that now. You know, it's too far away. The wall is too far away on the other side. So as you can see, this looks a little bit like real tiles, but can you hear? It isn't. It's plastic, and it's a sticker. At first glance, it looks really nice, and perhaps you think, okay, she said she bought that on Amazon. I will go to Amazon and look if I can find it there. If you do that, I can only tell you, if you want to buy this, listen first, collect all of your strong nerves you have, and then decide if you really want to do this or not. Because when I bought these, the description said that they are a little thicker than those normal tile stickers. So I thought, that is nice. This color looked really, really nice. I think that fits really nice to the paint, the color of the paint here I have on the wall. And I thought, okay, great, let's buy this. They say it's a little thicker, then it looks perhaps a little more realistic. But as you can see, there's a pretty big slot between the tile and the wall. Even if this is glued down really well, I have even used some additional really strong glue for bathrooms and, you know, things to hang in the bathroom where it's, you know, wet and so on. But it was a catastrophe to glue this down, and here, of course, you get dust without an end. Yeah, it's like really not so nice. The next thing was, when I had put that to the wall and it was sticking there, I thought, okay, let's press it really, really hard. That was not so easy, because this material is a little bit squishy. So I thought I would take a paper towel and go over this to get the pressure to the whole thing. I mean, this is like, you know, portions, but I wanted to press this down really well. And I went over this with my paper towel, and then suddenly I realized that this print on here got removed. So with going over that, it was perhaps a little bit like a sandpaper effect or so. But I mean, how do you clean this? Do you have magic hands or a magic wand and you make this and then it's clean, or what? I mean, if you have tiles and you want to put them to your bathroom, it should be possible to go over it like this to clean them. But when I did that with my paper towel, just to, I mean, not to clean them, but I haven't you know, had like a sponge which is really heavy or so. It was just a paper towel. When I went over that, can you see this shitty space here? Can you see that the whole green thing is off here? I mean, how terrible does that look? It's here, and perhaps you can also see that it is there in some areas. It looks really, really terrible, but, well, this is my solution now. But this is the answer of your question. what was the problem? Where's the solution? Here you can see it now. This is my bathroom, this is my shower, okay? But if you see these on Amazon, I think there's only one shop on Amazon which sells these, and I want to, yeah, I don't want to say warn you, but yeah, somehow it is like a warning, because I don't want you to buy this, because I said this is what I have here, and perhaps you think I like that, I want that as well, and then you are swearing on these tiles because of my video. Yeah, I don't want that, but you can decide now if you want to buy them or not. But the problem was that the original tiles, I mean, these are real tiles, and they have been here when I moved in, but they are not so high. Can you see when I am there under the shower? I mean, the shower thing is now really low, but normally it's here. And when I stand in there, then the water comes to the wall and the wall gets wet. And that's why I wanted to have something here that protects the wall. That was the original reason why I have put these tiles on there. Please don't be scared about these weird plants there. So, I mean, what am I doing here? When I'm in the shower, I have this here in front of me. But you know everything about me, so you can also see my shower. But what I wanted to show you are these plants in there. These are also fake. It's just some plastic. I want to put some tiny lights additionally in there so that it's really cozy when I'm in the shower. But yeah, in the camera, these flowers don't look so extremely green, but in reality, they are a little bit too green for me. So I'm planning to stain them a little bit. I don't know with what, perhaps with some spray or even some alcohol ink or so. I'm not so sure yet, but I have hung them there, and then I thought, let me check how it looks, and then I can better decide how I want to change them when I'm in the shower and, when I'm relaxed, and I can think about that there. So that will definitely get changed a little bit. Yeah, so here are, what you have in the shower or bathroom. There is my little black duck. And I also have some other fake plants made from plastic, here, because I thought that is somehow nice to have in a bathroom, something green. I didn't want to have real plants here, especially here where I've just shown you this spot. I mean, if these were real, I would need to put some real pots there. And I thought if this construction falls off because of an accident or so, or if the pot falls off, then it falls in here, and of course I want to avoid that. And since these are plastic, I decided that I take some plastic ones for here as well, because why not? Here I also have some leftover Christmas decoration. Yeah. This little thing here, I thought, this is fake as well. But this brought me, the color of this brought me to the idea to get a combination of green and gold in this bathroom. So as you can see, these little guys here are gold as well. And I'm planning to take these pots here because, they come from the shop, yeah, and they are black. I'm planning to put some gilding wax onto these pots so that they are then gold as well, so that they fit better to this thing here. And by the way, this little shelf here is really vintage. I really like this. Can you see these little details here? This little thing is laying on here, and I'm totally in love with these things. This construction was already here when I moved in, and here where the pot now is, normally this is meant to put a glass in for your toothbrush. But I thought, why can't I take this and put this in here, because my toothbrush is here in my cup, and I'm still searching for something which I can put in here. Probably not a second plant, but something like a decoration or so. When I made this little ideology Christmas decoration, I first thought about some things, a jar or so, which I can put in there to put this little arrangement there, but I couldn't find something which fit into this. So that's the reason why the decoration is here like so. But for the future, I am thinking about something, which you can put in here, and then you have there something where you can exchange the decoration. When it's Christmas, you can put Christmas decoration on there. You know, when it's Easter, you can take the Christmas decoration off and put the Easter thing on. Do you know what I mean? Something like a permanent but exchangeable decoration thingy. So then let's go on and let's go into the kitchen. To be honest, this room required some really, really strong nerves as well. I had a really long time, several months without this kitchen. I mean, it worked. Of course, you can get some, you know, cold food or something from the delivery service, but it was really, a really fantastic day when finally this kitchen was here and everything worked. Yeah, here's the space where I'm sitting when I have my, you know, breakfast and lunch and dinner and so on while I'm eating. So let's summarize it like that. And I wanted to have this little corner here. Yeah, on the one hand, really cozy, and on the other hand, in memory of my caravan where I lived when I lived in Austria. Perhaps you know that I had, yeah, a caravan with a little tiny house attached, and what you can see, I mean, when I was in Austria, and what I have here is exactly what I had there as well. So this little bench and also the table and this. I'm sorry, my camera decided to stop recording. So what you can see here is in memory of my caravan, and I already found it really cozy when I had this in Austria. So I thought, why don't I make it here in exactly the same way? And I'm really lucky that everything fits in this little corner. As you can see here, the wall has this thing. I mean, we are in the second floor here. And that means that here is already the roof of the house, but my little bench fits exactly in this space there. And that made me really happy when I found that out. So why am I showing you this, and why am I coming closer to the wall? Because I want to give you some inspiration, of course. I mean, this video answers a lot of questions. And the main question is, can we see your apartment, or may we see your apartment? Of course, you have followed me on this journey of the move and the renovation, and of course I want to show you this. Of course, why can't you see this? But on the other hand, I of course want to show you some things which might be an inspiration for your own walls in your own apartments. So what I have here is a really emotional decoration for my wall. These are some vignette boxes and also a vignette file card, how is that called? You know, the thing with the handle there, you can see from Ideology. And I have put some paint tubes in here. These are from my grandma, and they are not only really, really old and not only really, really grungy, but obviously a really emotional memory. So these are, yeah, really important for me. And I have put them here because when I sit here having my coffee and making a break, for example, from filming or so, then these are a really big inspiration for me. And yeah, I just like to sit here, look at them, and have this memory of my grandma while she was painting, and she has painted a lot. Every single painting in our house was made by my grandma. So that is a massive memory of my childhood, of course, as well. If you want to know how I made this, I have just taken these Ideology boxes. I have sprayed some gray oxide spray into them. I wanted to have them dusty and really grungy so that it fits to the paint tubes. But I wanted to have this raw wood of the boxes so that you don't think, oh, a decorative box, but that you think, oh, paint tubes. Do you know what I mean? So that the paint things are in the focus of this. So this is not real dust. So I have glued these with some collage medium to the boxes. So they are not only standing in there. I think that would be a little bit too dangerous. I mean, you know, they could fall out. So I have glued them in there. And on the wall, you can see this white thing there with the stamping. I will go to the other side of the room because then it's easier for me to film. So let's look here on the left side of my fridge, because then I can stand here better to show you this. I thought I want to have something in this kitchen which also reminds me to what happened during the time of the renovation for me as a maker for Tim. And these stamps, which I have used to stamp this here to the wall, have been released in the time while the renovation was. And that was the reason why I have decided to take them and, you know, make this little thing here. So how have I done that? That is really easy. I have first painted this part of the wall and this part of the wall while leaving this white. And then I have taken some protection paper, glued that exactly here to the edge of the white line and also here on the top, so that this and this was protected, so that I could then just stamp without having the stamping here or here, but only on this white little strip. I wanted that this little thing there fits really well to this thing. I have that from my caravan as well. This was originally a really, kitschy, fake, shabby chic thing. And I have put some collage paper to these little drawers here after I have painted them white, because there was a really ugly pattern on them. And then I have, put the collage paper over them. I have removed the original handles here and exchanged them with these. I bought these online, but please don't ask me where I got them. But I think you can get these on Amazon, or, for example, in IKEA, at IKEA, you know what I mean. Or if you don't need these big things, I mean, these are pretty big, but if you have perhaps a thing which is smaller, then I think from Ideology there are also these little drawer knobs available, but they are way smaller, and they would have been too small for this, for my taste, and also not the right color, because this color is obviously, because my fridge, this thing and some other things in this kitchen are this green, or a similar green as well. Here I also have sticked some sticker tiles to the wall. And also here, you've just seen that. If you see these on Amazon, again, like in my bathroom, I can't recommend to buy them, except you are really patient or a professional, sticker gluer, or is that called? If you have the perfect glue and the knowledge how to do that, please have fun with it. I don't know what happened, but the problem was, let me quickly try to turn on the light here. It's so dark outside that it's also a little bit dark inside here. The weather is not so nice today. But the problem was, here they sticked really, really well. I have also put some bookbinders glue behind this thing on the sticky side of the stickers, so that I have had the possibility of some wiggling room. When you have a sticker and you stick it to the wall, then it sticks and you don't have a chance to move it. So I thought it's a good idea to put glue behind, so that I could move them a little bit to bring them into the right position. But then when I had everything finished, after a week or so, I realized that everything came off. So the first thing that came off was here, this edge. So it was a few millimeters off from the wall. So I had to remove everything and glue everything again there. And it was just the most terrible thing in the world. And another problem was, even, I bought all of the packages with these tiles at once. But can you see the color difference? Can you see that it's here green and there blue within the same package of tiles? I think that is just a disaster. But now I have to live with what it is. And I try, when I sit there, to not think about the difference in the color. Instead, I try to enjoy this little memory here. This plate is from my grandma as well. And also this little thing where I have salt, my Salzstreuer. some pepper, some, normal bought thing. But this is a really special thing for me as well. Originally, there was a thing for pepper in my grandma's kitchen as well, but I think that got broken somehow or so. I couldn't find it anymore, but I'm really happy that I at least have this. This little mandala stone there I got from a really dear viewer as a gift. Also this special green salt here. Really cool. She made that, I mean, it was not from the same person, but the person who gifted this to me made this green because she knew that everything in my kitchen, my toaster and so on, is green as well. That was really cute. These little Christmas decorations here I found on the street, believe it or not. So the woman who moved out from the apartment in the, the first, it's the first, no, it's not the first floor, it's the, which is the same level as the street. She moved out and she has thrown these away and put them to the street so that the people who wanted them could take them, and I was the first person who saw them, so I have taken these with me. I think they are really, really cute, and they I'm so sorry, they remind me to my childhood as well, because we had these when we celebrated Christmas with my family as well, or not the same ones, but really similar ones. And I also have some leftover Christmas decoration here. And I think Christmas decoration in front of spaghetti, that is even better than without spaghetti. Yeah, so here you can see the room is pretty small. I mean, I have these 3 drawers for, my plates and silverware and so on, and some storage space is available here, but this is not so very much. So for my food and things like milk and you know what I mean, I have this little corner there that is really good because you can't see what is in there. So if there is chaos, who cares? But this here really bothers me. I still need some of these things where you can, like kitchen organizers or so, where you can take that out and see what is inside, because when I want to have something from the very farthest spot in there, I need to take everything out to reach that. So there I definitely need a solution, but yeah, well, it is what it is. So let's move on and let's leave the kitchen. And now we are again here. On this triangular wall, I have started a little gallery made from some makes I made in the past. For all of these things which are hanging here, there are also videos available on my channel. So why is it so dark in here at the moment? I'm so sorry. Perhaps we can do it like this. Now it's not so nice and cozy anymore, but we have some light. I think we get a little storm outside. This is not the reality. Normally in here it's really cozy, but as you can see, I still have this situation here because I have to find something here which is nice and perhaps a little bit vintage or even handmade or so. So that's why the light is so weird here. But as you can see, here are some, art projects I made. This here I made in a video as well. This is pretty old actually, but I still like this. Then I have my mummy here. If you follow me for a longer time, you know why this mummy is here. If you don't follow me for a longer time, or perhaps you are new here, perhaps you know this mummy from Tim Holtz. He has a stamp with this mummy, but this mummy is mine. I mean, we have by coincidence, even if I don't believe in coincidences, licensed the same picture so that I had it in my digital paper here. So this is a digital Halloween paper I have in my Etsy shop. And he at the same time licensed the mummy for a stamp. So now we both have the same mummy, and I made this in memory of this crazy day when I found that out, and well, when that happened, I should say. Perhaps you know this little piece. We made that in a little series which was called, or it is still called, Distressable Junkalosities. That was a collaboration with my junk journal friend Nicole at Nature Spirit Journals. And in that video, we showed you how to distress metal pieces. And here's also my little pizza bell. Perhaps you remember that. This was a make for Zizix and Tim Holtz. Perhaps you have seen that also. And also this cool thing here. I mean, I say cool. I made this by myself. But yeah, I find this cool. This is really, I really like this and how that came out. Yeah, so I am planning to fill this whole triangle here with some more makes I will hopefully make in the future, so that I then have a nice memory and at the same time, yeah, a decoration for this space as well. As you can see, this is not straight. Normally, I mean, if you know me, then you know that I normally don't like diagonals. No matter if it's on cards or so, like, you know, when you have a diagonal line on a card, and then the most terrible thing is when then a quote or so is diagonal on the line as well. I can't handle that with my brain. But here, I wanted to try out what happens if I put these diagonal lines to this triangle. Because when I look to this space here, this looks not straight as well when I stand here. So when this is not straight and the other line here is not straight, I thought that is a cool thing somehow. And another reason for that was, can you see, here's this green line, this green, it's not a line, it's a more a strip or so, and that goes along there and along here, so there's a little piece of that as well, and then it goes the whole way around here. And then I realized that I don't have enough of this green paint anymore, because I just bought a tiny sample thing to make that green, because I thought that I don't need so much of that. And then this thing was made, but the green was not there here. And, you know, then I had not enough paint left. So I thought, what the heck can I do now? And instead of taking another green or so, I thought I just make this line. Then you have the focus on the fact that it is not straight, but not on the green anymore. So that the eye is a little bit disturbed from the fact, or not disturbed, distracted from the fact that the green stops there. So then we have this little corner here. About this, there's a video available as well. Here I have another of these little paint tube things. These are from my grandma as well. A little newer, as you can see. So that's the reason why they are not in the kitchen and why I have displayed them here in a little different way. I have glued them in here and then, you know, made that the paint comes out here. I have let that dry. I mean, that took several months to dry, but I think this is really nice. But this still is searching for the right spot. So this is just, you know, a parking slot for this piece. I have to find a space on my wall where I want to put this. This thing here, which you normally use for pottery, is from my grandma as well, because she liked to make some pottery things. And I have put this here just for memory reasons as well, and because I think this is a nice spot for having some decoration. As you can see here, still some Christmas stuff. The candles are there the whole year long, but this is, you know, some Christmas stuff. And also a little gift, which I got from one of my lovely viewers from Germany. She has used my last minute ephemera pack. Can you see this little Christmas ornament there? That's from my own printable. And she has made this delicious beverage here for me and has put that on there. That was so cute, because, you know, when you see your own things in action, that is really nice. So I have that there, and it's waiting there for the right moment that I can enjoy that. This little blue strange thing here might look a little bit weird because, you know, blue is not so my color, but this little cabinet comes from my childhood as well. That was originally like doll wardrobe, but now I store my espresso cups and these little things in here. I need something, you know, to divide this here so that I can use this space here as well. But I think this is a really nice spot for these, because when I have them in here, you know, let me close this correctly. Drives me crazy when it's not correct. So when I have the cups there and I turn around, then I can take them and make my coffee, and I have my cups then ready to go, because I have my coffee machine here, not in the kitchen. Perhaps you have already missed the coffee machine in the kitchen, but it's here because I thought I have the space here. Why can't I put it here? And this little thing here, this sideboard, I had it in my caravan as well, and there I had a similar scenario with my coffee machine. So the coffee machine in the caravan was on this thing as well. So I thought this is good, this is handy for me, so I do it exactly the same like it was there. In here I store really like how do you say that, like crisscross things. There are some coffee beans in there, some plant pots and plates that I don't use so often, some medicine there, my internet router, and so on. But why I wanted to show you this is this golden stuff on here. Perhaps when you see it from here, you can already see that it is not how I bought it, because it has these a little bit strange looking, but at the same time unique and really, you know, one of a kind. I think that is the same, unique and one of a kind. That is the same, Louise. But you know, this is really stylish. This is golden, but what is this and how the heck did it come here? I had a really, really nice helper when I moved, and that person was really thinking about that nothing can get broken. So that person, I will say no names, but that person is the reason why this looks like it looks now. So the person has put some tape along here to avoid that the drawers can get open while this thing was in the car to move to here. Yeah. So also these Türen here, these doors, are glass, you know, and when they open while you have this thing in a car, that would be not so good. So there was tape here as well. During the renovation, this thing was in the basement, and the tape was a pretty long time on there. When I removed the tape, I found out that the tape is not so good quality, because half of the tape, the sticky part of the tape, was still on my drawers when I removed the tape. So everything which is gold now was sticky before, and it was absolutely terrible. And then I thought, of course, I could buy a special cleaning solution for getting rid of that. I mean, something like that is available, but why shall I do that when I can sit down here in front of this thing, open this, take some golden embossing powder. I've used the, it was not the super fine detail embossing powder, but I think the normal golden embossing powder by Ranger and Tim Holtz. And then I have just taken this little container where it's in, and I've thrown the powder on here, and it automatically, of course, sticked to these areas because of the stickiness of the rest of the tape. Then I embossed that very carefully to avoid bubbles in the coating of the drawers. And this material, you know, this was basically a really cheap thing. It's not a high quality material, so I was afraid that this paint here could bubble up. So I did that really, really carefully. In some areas, you can see it's really irregular. Here's a lot of the embossing powder, but that doesn't matter. It's what it is, and this looks really unique, I think, and I really love how this turned out. It was really hard to do. It was time consuming, yes, because, you know, when you open this and throw the powder on here, everything falls to the floor. You have to then, you know, take it off from there. Some went into the drawers. Yes, I could have taken the drawers out to do this, but to be honest, everything I store in here was already in this thing when I made the thing with the gold. And I wanted to avoid that I lose time by taking everything out. So I have just thrown it on. And what went in here, I've just taken my vacuum cleaner and removed that. That was really easy. So now I have these cool spots here on this thing, and I really, really like how that came out. Look how cool this pattern, which the stickiness of the tape left, looks here. I mean, that is really one of a kind, isn't it? So perhaps you want to try something like that as well when you have a problem like this. I mean, that could be done not only on a furniture like this, you could do that like wherever you want, yeah? Wherever you have sticky areas in your apartment, just throw some embossing powder on there, emboss it, and then the problem is solved. So yeah, here I also still have some Christmas decoration. This is my Ideology Advent calendar I made a while ago. And I thought this is a really nice combination. This little thing I got from Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. She gifted this to me. I store my coffee beans in here, and I thought this is a really nice combination. I mean, this is not here the whole year, but it's only here when it's Christmas, you know. This will be removed in a few days. But I thought for the Christmas season, this is really nice. Of course, I have my Defamoramba mug here as well, because when I have finished this video, I will definitely need another cup of coffee. So let's perhaps quickly turn this on so that I can look forward to that. Yeah, here I have some older things I made. These are just some cards on the, you know, some mini clipboards by Ideology. I have 3 of them here and a 4th one here. From these cards, I made even more, but the other cards are in another spot. But I wanted to have also, you know, the mini clipboards are hanging here around this corner, like this green stripe is around the corner. Does that make sense? Hopefully. I wanted to have a little connection with these clipboards. And as you can see, I have also stamped to the walls. And yes, this is exactly like here in the kitchen. I have stamped directly to the wall here. The same here. This is just some white, normal white wall paint, which you use for, you know, painting walls. And then I have used some jet black archival ink and a stamp set by Tim and Stampers Anonymous. And here it says, oh my goodness, now I can check if my English is good enough so that I can translate this for you, because this is really, really funny in German. Here it says, tritt hier Gas aus oder hüpfen draußen Grashüpfer? That means, is here some gas coming out, or are there hopping some grasshoppers outside? When you read this, you think, why can that be funny? You can only understand that when you know the story behind. The story behind is, we were here in the kitchen, and when the kitchen was like in the, you know, construction state, and here there was a gas pipe, a really old thing, which was not used anymore, and we didn't need that anymore. But when we removed this gas pipe, it was somehow a little bit strange feeling, you know, when you have something where originally gas came out, then you make a few more thoughts about your security and so on. And we removed that, and then we were standing here proud that this ugly pipe was away. And then suddenly Sasha, my landlord, said something like, you know, he has put his ear pretty close to the wall, and then he said, is here gas coming out from the pipe or the rest of the pipe or from somewhere, or are that grasshoppers hopping outside? And I mean, if you can hear grasshoppers hopping outside, then you must have really good ears. Do you know what I mean? And that's why that is so funny. And this little quote also became a running gag during this time when we had this renovation here. And something which is even more funny, but even harder to explain and to translate is this. So let me give you a little German lesson before I translate this so that you can get the joke behind this, because this in German and in the situation is one of the most extremely funniest things I have ever heard in my entire life. So we have in mind that behind this little door is this like control center for the electricity. This says die Stille der Lampen. And Lampen is plural of Lampe. What is a Lampe in German? That's this thing. So this is a Lampe, you know? A lamp. And we were sitting on the couch in the apartment of my landlord. So the most of you know him as Sasha. Of course, that's his name. But he's a good friend of mine and at the same time my landlord. And he lives in the first floor of this house. We were sitting there enjoying our time after we had another day here on the construction site. And the TV showed an advertisement for the movie The Silence of the Lambs. You know? And of course, lambs and lamps, that is not the same thing, but it's written really similar and it sounds really similar. And then suddenly he said, oh, that is translated into die Stille der Lampen. So the silence, Stille, silence. Stille is the German word for silence. And he translated lambs, the animals' lambs, into Lampen because it's so similar to lamps. Do you know what I mean? And I can tell you, when I have a bad day, and I mean that can be a really, really, really bad day, I can do, I just need to do one single thing. I have to go here, stand here, read this, because this makes me laugh every single time I walk along here. And the thing is, why am I showing you this? This is a really personal thing. You can only understand it in the situation or with this background of the situation, but perhaps you have those quotes from family members, friends, or celebrities or whatever, whoever as well, and you want to put that on a wall as well as a memory of that situation. Because when I read this or this, and I have even a third quote I will show you in a second, then I have a memory, and that is a really strong memory of that time when this whole thing happens. And I think this can also be part of your daily life and part of a decoration of an apartment. So since this is magnetic, I have some things here, and what I wanted to show you is this, because I wanted to ask you if you can see who that is. Because I mean, this is obviously me. Sometimes I feel like this was another life, but it's just a longer time ago, as you can see. And do you see who this is? Can you see? This is Sarah Connor when she was not so popular yet. And I met her, and I'm really, really proud of this photo. This is just a really wonderful memory. Well, I wanted to show you that. So then let's go to the living room, which is not completely finished yet. As you can see, I have still an empty corner here where I don't know so exactly yet what I will do with this corner. But here's my oven. Oh, and this oven is also the reason why I don't have doors in this apartment, because this oven needs to heat the whole apartment. And of course, you can see with this space behind me, there is my mushroom and the kitchen and the bathroom. There is my bedroom / cutting room, and there's my craft room. So that means from here, the whole heat has to go into every single room, and that's why I decided to don't have doors. I mean, why do I need doors? I don't close them because I'm running here around the whole day. Why do I need doors? But that's the one thing about this thing. And here then is my living room. This looks not so cozy at the moment. I have the feeling that's because of the weather outside, and because my camera can't handle that so well because it's really dark and rainy outside. Normally, in the whole apartment here, it's really, really much light. Even if it's in the second floor and, you know, here is the roof of the house, sometimes those apartments under the roof are a little bit dark, but this is really, really light, but it's just a bad day to film, I think. So here, as you can see, this is also not completely finished yet. I found this couch online after searching for a very, very long time for a couch which fits in here under this, you know, not straight wall. And I'm really, really happy that I could find this. I need a little table here somehow, but I already have a really fluffy carpet here. I'm really proud that I could find that because, you know, I love fluffy things. And I also need something else to put my TV on. This is just the other part of my bench, which I have in the kitchen. I've just used that to have something to put my TV on there. This little Christmas decoration I made by collecting some trash because all of these Christmas ornaments I found on the street as well, next to these other Christmas decorations I've just shown you in the kitchen. And then I spontaneously decided to make this with some fake plants. You can see these green plants. I have just removed them from my bathroom and put them on some vintage books. And then, you know, I've just thrown the Christmas ornaments around, and then I had this little thing. This here, I have shown you already on Instagram. I made that from a really cheap Christmas ornament as well. I've just cut this hole, made this little window there from some pieces from an Ideology curio clock. So the glass there, this little window, is from the curio clock, the frame as well, and the stand also. And as you can see, there are some Ideology Christmas pieces in there, like this little animal there, and the trees, and, you know, some baubles. Is that the word? Yeah, I think so. And some dried things with so. And yeah, so that is this. And then here I have my Ideology Christmas wreath. I made some things here, like these grungy Christmas ornaments, and I have taken these little, you know, figures and painted them and made them a little frosty, so that I had this here while it was Christmas. And I'm a little bit sad that I have to remove this in a few days because I really like how this turned out. And yeah, because of my, you know, lack of furniture, I have just put this here to this chair, but I think that is a solution as well. I mean, why can't it be on a chair? It's nice and it works for me. Here, just in case you come and visit me, if you want to watch TV and you sit here, the controllers for the TV are in here. Then I have these two pillows where I'm really, really proud that I have them because I made them by myself from two t-shirts. This is an old Steel Panther fan t-shirt, which I bought on a tour of this band. So Steel Panther, that's a band. And I think, oh no, here's no date. I don't know, what was that? 2016 or so. And the cool thing is there are the cities on the back, and I have been on two concerts in Zurich and in, where's the other one, and in Oberhausen, and that is a really nice memory as well. So I don't wear this t-shirt anymore, so I thought instead of having it in my drawer, I can make a nice decoration here and a nice pillow. This was a t-shirt from the Hard Rock Cafe in Rome, you know, you can see it. And here I had the problem that this filling for the pillow was a little, I mean, there's a, no, the t-shirt is the pillowcase now, isn't it? Yeah, that is correct. The t-shirt is the pillowcase now, and the thing inside, the pillow itself, or is it then cushion? I always don't know the difference between pillow and cushion, I'm sorry. But this thing inside was too big that the t-shirt could fit over this. And that is why I have these weird corners. First, I thought I can't do that because it's not a rectangle or it's not a square. But then I thought, why can't I do it like this? Because now I can still see that it was a t-shirt, and especially this pattern here is still intact, and that looks way cooler than if it was a rectangle. And I think, yeah, that is really, really nice, and I really love this. This t-shirt was a little too small already when I bought it in Rome, and I thought the better way is to have a pillow from this instead of waiting until my body will fit into that t-shirt. Yeah, so then here, I wanted to show you this because perhaps that is an idea for you as well. If you perhaps have some weird things in your home which are either broken or you don't like them anymore, or someone wants to throw them out or so, then you can perhaps combine them and make something new, like I did here. This glass thing here is a part of a lamp. Not part of a lamp, but part of a lamp. And the problem was I couldn't hang this lamp to my ceiling because of the length of this. It didn't fit. And also this construction was not compatible with the electricity. Don't ask. Then I had this and I thought, instead of throwing this away, I will keep it, because this, here it says Licht. So that means light in German in different fonts. I have made this by myself with the stencil I made by myself. So this was really time consuming and a lot of effort to do. Originally, of course, I did that when I planned to use the lamp as a lamp, yeah, and not like this. This was already like so. And then I thought, why can't I take this and use it for something else? And then my landlord and friend Sasha came and said he wants to get rid of this candle stand. And I thought, what? I mean, why? How? I mean, okay. And then suddenly I thought, I still have this. And then, to be honest, I didn't try to convince him to keep this stand, because he said, well, I don't want to put it into the basement because, yeah, that is not so nice because I have spent money for it. It's a little bit sad that I want to get rid of it. Do you want to have it? And you can guess that I said, of course I want to have it, because this was then in my mind. And I thought, I will do that. This is just really cool. And I'm so in love how this came out. And when he saw that, I mean, of course, he comes and visits me like nearly every day. We see each other nearly every day, and he's here and I am, at his apartment sometimes, and we see what we have or what we created. And when he saw that, I think he got a little bit jealous because he liked it as well. And here, there's a little candle inside, but that is not a real candle, but you can switch it on and off with such a little tool here. And I got this idea from no one else than Tim. So Tim, if you perhaps by coincidence are watching, thank you so much for this inspiration with these candles, because he showed that, I think, in his Christmas decor tour a few years ago. And when he showed that, and when I saw how cozy that looks, I immediately thought I need those candles, because this can't burn your house, This is really secure and it looks so real. Especially, I will quickly switch the light in the room off. Especially when it's a little darker. I mean, also with this Christmas lights there, that looks so nice. It's even a little too light in here now to see the coziness of this, but this is, I mean, perhaps you can imagine how nice this looks. I'm so in love with these candles. It's just amazing. And I have several of these in the whole apartment. And you can also take this and set this timer on 2, 4, 6, or 8 hours. And then every single day at the same time, it turns on for the amount of hours you have chosen here. And that is really cool, because then it lights up automatically and you have this cozy feeling automatically. That is something I really enjoy. So then here, I think this little thing, or it's not so little, this thing here from my caravan. So if you follow me already for a longer time, then you might already know this. In here on the bottom, I store, yeah, some crisscross things like journals, or it's basically, yeah, mainly journals, and also some decorative things which are seasonal, but you know, when Christmas season is over, here are my Christmas things inside, you know, and when then the next Christmas comes, I can take them out and put them either here or to my window behind me, because what I have as Christmas decoration are basically my makes for ideology and Zizix, and yeah, is here something else? No, here's only the Zizix and ideology. But yeah, you know, that sounds so weird. Not only that, that is so, that sounds a little bit weird, but I think you know how I mean that. So I have these little things here, and you know, when I take my Christmas decoration and put it away, then all of this goes back in there. And I have also some older journals in there and so on, some cards and makes I don't have the space to display them. So this is basically something where the decoration also changes a little bit. I still have some Halloween things in here, as you can see. But in the next few days, this will probably change a little bit, and here will then come what comes next. So probably spring and Easter. But I also do that, yeah, by taking the things I have. So when I don't have things which fit for the season, then it can also happen that here are some Halloween things in January. Yeah, so I don't care about that, if it fits to the season or not. So here is my Tim Holtz Studio Tour journal in this little box. Perhaps you've seen the video about that. It's already a little bit older, but I'm, to be honest, really proud that I have this here. And this is such a strong reminder to the time when I made this and to the joy I had when I made that. So if you know Tim's studio, you can see that this is a miniature version of his studio, and also the journal in the box represents his studio. I will not take it out now. You can watch the video on my channel. There I have a really detailed flip through and you know, explanations about this project. Yeah, here I have a little a little Mickey Mouse. I made this after I was invited by Tim to become a maker. I bought this little Mickey Mouse in Rome approximately 2 weeks before he asked me. I mean, I bought this without knowing that he will ask me, of course. And then I added this little quote there, which says, "And so the adventure begins." And I made this, yeah, in memory of this special day when he asked me if I wanted to become a maker. And here I have also something which is like, you know, really, really, oh, I know the German word, but I don't know the English word. This is really important to me. I have won this in an auction, and as you can see, and probably you have seen, I mean, if you follow Tim, then you know that he made this in one of his live videos. And I won this card in an auction, and I'm so proud that I have this. This is in here because it's protected here, but I still need a frame because I want to display this on one of my walls, of course. But since this is really dimensional, because he made this with this embossed die cut here, and also this thing is pretty thick, I need the right frame. So if anyone has an idea, I mean, there are these frames at IKEA available, which have this really, you know, deep thing that could be a possibility, but, you know, I have to check if that is really the solution or not. I also have my little special fortune cookie here. Don't be afraid, this is not real. This is made from some clay. And yes, this is a little bit dark and grungy, but if you know me, then you know that it has to look exactly like this. In here I also have some paint tubes which didn't fit into my kitchen decoration anymore. These are also from my grandma, but as you can see, they are really giant. And I thought the proportion is not so nice in combination with the smaller ones I have in the kitchen. So I decided to make this. I also have some paintbrushes in here from my grandma. Yeah, and I also have some really nice memories in here. Some gifts, for example, this I got from Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. There, in this corner, there's also something really special. This card I got from Pete at Zizix. And I think it's not necessary that I say that Pete made this, because when you see the card, you can immediately see that he made that. I find that so fascinating, because this is so him, that is so extremely, that is really extremely fascinating for me. And I'm really, really happy that he has sent this to me. I'm really proud that I have that. And that makes me also really happy. Sometimes when I stand here and look at all of these things, I think it is really incredible how strong memories can be. For example, this, that at first glance makes no sense to have these here, because here are like craft projects in here, but these are memories, and that is a really strong memory as well, because I got that from my grandpa, and this thing is from my grandma. And in the back, I can't reach it with the camera, there are also some things from my grandma and my grandpa, and this is from my aunt. She passed away a few weeks ago, and yeah, this is really even more special to me now, since she's not here anymore. Here, I don't want to get emotional. Louise, concentration. That was not such an easy time, you know. So here on my little, it's not little, Louise. Here on the oven, I also have a little corner. There's where the word little should go, of, memory things. This here, how is that called in English? I mean, this is a magician, obviously, and this is, you can put, one of these, wait, I have them here. I'm really lucky that this video is with a picture, so that you can see it. So, these little things where you can, how the heck is this called? Scent stick, or how is this called? I don't know. But I have these, and I think these are really, really nice. And you can, put this in here. The magician has a little hole here. Then you can put that in here, and then, wait, let me take out my lighter. I think I need this now, because this is really difficult for me to do in English, because there are so many words I just don't know. I hope that you can handle the situation in this video. So, then this smells nice. And I bought this a really, really long time ago on a special market in Germany. Yeah, so here are also some memories from my time as a teacher in a preschool. Perhaps you know that. In my past life, I was a preschool teacher. Here are some memories from Rome. These are really, really cheap souvenirs. These, you can see what it is. These like really cheap souvenir shops where thousands and thousands of colosseums are, or other buildings. But I thought this style, even if it's a really cheap material, looks really, really nice, and it was already so grungy like it is here, and I think that is really, really cool, and it fits in here, and it gives me nice memories. Here is the third quote I stamped to the wall, and as you can see, if you know me, you know that this will not stay like it is now, because it's absolutely crooked. That happened because I couldn't stamp so well while standing here, because this thing was in the way. And when I had the single letters of the stamp set, I needed to press this here, with the little acrylic block. And when I pressed it, I couldn't see, because of my hand here, where I stamped. And that's why this is so crazily wonky and weird. I really don't like that, especially because when I stand here, I can see this and also that there. And I can see the perfection of that and also this here. And then I see this, so I will probably paint over this. and then stamp it again. And perhaps I will then also change the spot and stamp it here, because I think that looks even better than on the other wall. But yeah, you know, I also wanted to show you the unfinished things here. I also think that an apartment of someone who is like myself can't be finished. So there are always things which are unfinished and yeah, perhaps also not perfect. So this means something like optical illusion deception. The word deception, I just learned that. I mean, I have my translator here, to be honest. So deception is something like an illusion as well, isn't it? So it's somehow also like optical illusion. I hope that makes sense. And it's related to this thing. This thing is part of my kitchen lamp. My kitchen lamp I got from my grandma. She had this lamp, or my grandpa, obviously. And they had this in their living room. And this thing you've just seen normally goes here, because then you can change the height of this lamp. Since I don't need that here, I've decided to put that as a decorative element here. Then one day, Sasha came here and he said, "Oh, what is that?" And he touched it and then he tried to lift it up and then he realized that he can't lift it up. I mean, I am not so strong, but you know, I do everything to take this off from here, but it's not possible with one hand. And even with two hands, it's really, really heavy. So he said it's like an optical illusion that you want to lift it up, but you can't, because it doesn't look so heavy, but it is extremely heavy. And that's what this says and why I have stamped it there. Then I have this little fake clock here because, you know, this is a clock which is not working. The time it shows is very special to me. If you know me, you know why. And if you don't know it, watch the video of my Tim Holtz studio tour journal, then you will get to know why the time this clock shows is so special to me. So let's then move on to the next room, which is my bedroom slash cutting room, yeah, slash packaging storage room and so on. A room for everything. Shall we turn on the light here as well? I guess so. Now it's really, I'm so sorry. This is not so cozy anymore now because of the light, but it's what it is. So this perhaps you also remember from my caravan. I already had these shelves there and they have nearly the same things in them like in the caravan as well. So there on the top I store my boxes when I want to ship, you know, my journals or other things from my shop or some happy mails or so. Then I have some books here where I can take some book pages if I want to use those for some projects. I also use those books for making photos for my Instagram. And I also have some journals which are not finished yet in here. For example, this one here I bought from my friend Dani at I Feel Crafty Too. Here's my little journal which I made from a Ranger mailing envelope. You know, this is just a plastic envelope. Here's my construction site journal. Some of you have asked when I will show the flip through of this, because I have promised this to you and of course I want to show you this, but I decided that I want to wait until April, because in April it's exactly 1 year after I was here in the apartment for the first time, and I thought that would be a nice date then to show you the finished journal. This journal here I got from Nicole at Nature Spirit Journals. Perhaps you have seen the flip through of this as well when I got this. I can't show you this now because it's, yeah, I would say the most personal journal I have ever made. I can't show you what is in here, but perhaps you want to watch the flip through of the empty journal, then you can find that on my channel as well. Yeah, and I also have some, you know, finished journals in here which want to get some journaling in them and so on. Here then comes my section for my printer paper. I will go into detail about this organization here in one of the next videos. In the beginning of the video, I have told you that I want to show you the apartment in this video. And then in the next videos, I will go into detail about my craft room and the organization. The craft room is, by the way, there. So it's like, you know, connected, even if it's not in the same room. But this is where I have my printer paper. This is then, you can see it's really multifunctional shelf here. I have some memory decoration things here as well. Also some, you know, leftover Christmas stuff. This shelf is also part of my wardrobe, which is not existing because this room is too small to have a wardrobe. Because here, and I don't need one, here is my bed. So this is the part which I would call bedroom. Then perhaps you might remember this shelf. I had that in the caravan as well, but with another function. So here I have my clocks now, my little collection. It's not so big yet, but you know, I collect these. And as you can see, there's still a little bit of space to get some more. And yes, this is me. So when I then turn around, here's my little cutting station. I have my printer here and my big paper trimmer so that I can cut bigger things and, you know, bigger piles of paper here. The rest of my clothes, why am I telling you that? Because I got that question from my, under my past room tours so often that you asked, yeah, where do you store your clothes? So this is my wardrobe. This is basically kitchen furniture. My whole studio furniture is kitchen furniture. And here is my wardrobe and the rest of my clothes is there. That is the end of the answer. I don't have so much. And I don't need it. So here, that I will show you in the upcoming videos because this is already like part of my craft room. These little guys I also have taken from the caravan and I have put them here. I think they fit really nicely in this room. And I also use these as, yeah, storage for decorations or so. In here there are also some really old paints and other mediums from my grandma. I don't use these anymore. I want to have them exactly like they are here. And, you know, when I want to see them, I just open this because there's no problem to have this like so as a decoration. And then I can see them, I can be happy. And when I don't want to see them anymore, I can close this. The same is for these scissors. These are from my mom and my grandma. I don't use these anymore, but I wanted to have them. And some of them are also not sharp enough anymore that you could use them. But I thought that is a nice thing. Perhaps when I see it now here in the camera, I think I will probably one day find another backdrop for showcasing these. Because for my taste, they are not so visible there. It's like you could use them. It's a little bit too... It looks like functional, even if it isn't. Yeah, even if it's a decoration. These things my grandma made by hand. And I'm really, really proud that I have these here. I mean, as you can see, this is Mariah and Joseph, and this is Jesus, you know, and the three kings. And I'm really, really happy that I have these because when she made these, I was a child, obviously. And I can remember when she made these. And I can remember that I was sitting next to her while she was making this. And that is one of the few memories of my childhood which are really clear and where I can, you know, if I could print a photo of that from my brain, it would be really, really clear. Or if I could transfer this memory from my head into a movie, that would be possible without any problems. And this is just such a nice thing. And I'm really, really happy that my father gave these to me after my grandparents passed away. And yeah, it's just special. But yeah, in a few days, I have to remove them, and then they will go back into their storage, and then, you know, I have to wait until the next Christmas until I can take them out again. So then, before we go into the craft room, I wanted to show you this because I'm really, really happy that I have this. And I collect some letterpress in here. You can guess who inspired this. And I also have a little hint if you don't know who inspired this. Yeah, so I have these here, these letterpress letters. Is that a word? Is letterpress already then the letter, or what is that? You know what I mean. You can see it here. These are the ones by Ideology, obviously. Look, these are some metal ones. I got these in a Happy Mail. Really, really wonderful. I was completely in shock. I mean, in a positive shock when I saw these. These obviously say my name, and that is just so special. And yeah, I also store some, or not store, collect or display some other things in here, like these little guys or little things. For example, this is also from my grandma. Found that really cute. And yeah, today I got a really nice tip. I got these letters here. You can see this white L. I have to change that. That is not a letterpress, it's just, you know, a decorative letter, but it's white. And the others on the right, which say the rest of my name, are original old letterpress. You know, the ones by Tim Holtz. Ideology. These are the original Ideology letterpress. They are real, obviously, and it's the original. It's not a fake, or do you know what I mean? But he made them for the Ideology collection. They are not authentically vintage, but made so that they look vintage. Do you know what I mean? And these there on the top, they are like real vintage letterpress. And originally when you get these, and I got these as a gift, I'm so happy, but originally they are brown, yeah, and they look, I will show you that here on the Ideology ones, because I have to hold the camera so high that my arms really hurt. As you can see, normally, no matter if they are the Ideology ones or like the vintage ones, they look like this. There's no paint on them, but the letters come out way better when there's paint on them, and you can then read better what's on them. So for the Ideology ones, I have had already painted some of these with white acrylic paint, as you can see here, so that the letters come out really nicely. I needed that for our little series, Distressable Junkulosities, I did with my friend Nicole at Nature Spirit Journals. And she also was the one who said that she was really inspired that I made these white, and she wanted to do that for her own letterpress as well. And then she thought, if I take white acrylic paint, I can't remove it later if I want to have it in blue or red or in a totally different color. And then she came to the idea to use picket fence distress ink on them. So what I did was, following her suggestion, and I have taken just my distress ink picket fence ink pad, put that on there, and now it's there. And obviously it's not permanent, but it's white. I will not touch it there, so why? It doesn't need to be permanent, but when I want to change the color, I can just wipe that off and put another color of oxide ink on there, and then it will show up on these letters. Isn't that great? Thank you, Nicole, for that tip. I really love that. I need to change the color of the L because the wall is white and the L is white, but I got this like, 2 minutes before recording this video. So I need some time to do that, and I'm not so sure yet what I will do with the L so that it fits to the other letters there. So let's then finally go into my craft room to get an overview over the situation there. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I will dive into detail about my craft room in my upcoming videos, and I will also show you my storage system there then in detail. Before I go into this room, I mean, I'm talking about every single time before I go into this room, I make a little stop here to read my personal caption of this room. I will take this off because this plastic is a little bit hard to film. This is an ideology packaging where I have put a print of a screenshot in. This is a story by, an Instagram story by Tim Holtz. He has said this about myself. This is really emotional for me because this is such, I can't even tell you how much value this has to me. This is like a hug every single time I go through this door because this says so much, and I so appreciate what he said about me in this moment. And I appreciate what he says about me in general. Yeah, but this is something really, really, really special. And that's why it is here. And this is a reminder to me what I am able to do and what, my worth for myself is. Does that make sense? And I'm really, I don't want to cry. I get emotional. So let's go in here and let's take a look at this. So I will turn on the light here as well. It's really terrible. Probably it's not so cozy like normally, because the situation is here like in the whole apartment. This is not finished yet, as you can imagine. I have these light bulbs here. They make light, yes, but this is somehow weird when the weather outside is not so nice like it is today. It's really stormy outside, but this is probably better to film. So this is where my most happiest hours of my life are happening. This is nearly in the same arrangement like it was when I was in Austria in my caravan. I say nearly because I also have some new things like this giant vintage cabinet. And as I promised in my upcoming videos, we are going to talk about all of this. And I will also, of course, show you what I have in all of these drawers. As you can see, these are also kitchen furniture. I find that really handy, and that works perfectly for me. I will also, of course, in the upcoming videos talk about my storage system, where this is a really, really massive thing, a massive part of my storage system, as well as this thing. This is the most brilliant thing I have ever made in my life. Next to this, I can't even decide what is more brilliant for me. It works for me, and that's why it's brilliant for me. So this is really good, and this is also really good. I will also show you that in detail, even if there are already some videos where I have talked about my mediums. So this is my shelf with all of my Ranger mediums. When I see this through the camera, I have to say, this looks way more than it looks when I look to it with my eyes without the camera. That is really weird. But I'm really proud about this collection, or proud of this collection. I think that is better English. So here I have a little space where I can look out of the window and, see the neighbors. And of course, I will show you in the upcoming videos why I have so many buttons. Yes, in the other drawers there are buttons as well. And I will also show you how I film, or no, not how, but in which situation or surrounding I film my videos for you. That is probably also interesting for some of you who don't film for YouTube. I need my things really close to me when I make videos, because when I sit there, I need everything around me so that I have an easier job to do everything. But also, if you don't make videos, it can be helpful to have everything around you. And I want to show you some possibilities and how I solve these problems. For example, you have a ton of paper trimmers, how to store them without wasting a lot of space. I think I found a really cool solution here. So I will show you that in detail in the upcoming videos. Or if you sit there and think, I quickly need a stamp, how can you do that so that you have everything at hand around you? Yeah, so here is where the magic happens. And here I have some black ducks. So these are the little children of my black duck in the bathroom. She has really many children, as you can see. This is how my desk looks when I have a little free time and I don't make YouTube videos. Then it can happen that here are ducks on my table because I'm working on an additional decoration for my bathroom at the moment. And that's also why I have this frame here. But as you can tell, it's not finished yet. This craft room is not only my craft room, but it's also my office. As you can see, my laptop is there. So here's where I'm sitting when I edit my videos. What you can see there is the German version of this video, which I already have edited and which is ready to upload to YouTube. And that's where I will now have to sit for several hours to edit this video. But first I will go back to my coffee machine and make a little coffee, or perhaps even a bigger coffee, so that I'm able to edit this video footage. I hope that you could get some inspiration for your own apartment from this video. If you have any questions, as always, please leave a comment and I will try my best to answer your questions. And then I'm really hoping that we will see the next time with some more details about how I store and organize all of my craft supplies in this little room here. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you will have a very great and creative time until we see the next time. Bye bye.